Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it's late. It is 3:50 a.m. and I just poured my Diet Coke because I was like, okay, I have to have a sip of this. And let me tell you why. Because I sat out here and I just finished our book club book for April, Molly's Game. I had like half an hour left of it and I was like, I'm just gonna sit out here and I'm gonna finish it before I start my vlog. So I sat out here and I finished it and I got to like the very end and I was like, I just want a sip of Coke. I want a sip of Diet Coke so bad. So I finally just like cracked it open. I was like, it's okay, if I don't open it on video today. So, hi, how are you? How are you guys doing today? I've had a good day today. I'll talk about the audiobook in just a second, but I've had a good day today. I got up and I don't remember last night what I did afterwards. I listened to my audiobook and I listened to, and I played Words with Friends, and then I ended up going inside and watching like maybe just an episode. I think it was just an episode of Schitt's Creek. I'm loving that show. The show is so endearing and it's so sweet, but it's because you can kind of see that they're like changing over time, and becoming less superficial and more down to earth and real. I don't know, it's just a very genuine show. It's very sweet. There's something about it I really like. So I did that and then I went to bed and I got up today. I felt 100% better today. I was so thankful when I woke up that my stomach didn't hurt. So I got up today and what did I do? Alex was still hanging out in bed. So I came downstairs. I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, so he came downstairs and he fed the dogs and I was like, I'm gonna start making videos. So I made my coffee and then I started making videos and I did some of them outside and some of them inside. And I did this video, I know it was probably silly, I don't care, I had fun doing it, on my drama channel, and it was reading beauty guru tweets and like an onion dip and chip mukbang. I was like, I'm doing something completely different over here today. I don't care. I just want to have fun with it. I did that, and then I did a meditation video outside, and then I did a review video. Alex was cooking in the kitchen, and I was like, do you care if I do this video while you're cooking? He was like, no. I was like, okay, will you be in it? He was like, I mean, like walking back and forth, sure. And I go, no. I go, let me like do this thing on your head. He goes, okay, fine. He's so funny. So anyway, yeah, we are still going to do the Q&A at some point. I have all the questions saved. I like went through and screenshot all of them. Part of it is we're just getting started so late by the time that we get up. Oh, I know what I did today. I had to go to the bank. I had to go to the bank and deposit a check. So that was one of the things that I did today. And then I came right back. It was kind of like surprising to me how like busy it is out, because I don't really go anywhere, you know, I'm like just here. And there's a liquor store right next to my bank, and there was like the longest line at the liquor store, and people like, I guess, pull up. I called my sponsor and I told her, I said, you'll never guess what I'm seeing right now. And she's like, what? And I was telling her, I was like, there's like, you drive up and you like, I guess like order your liquor and then like pick it up at the door or something like that. She said, you know, I would have been there back in the day. I said, oh, I would have too. I would have too. This right now, like, it's really, you know, kind of scary, honestly. I've had this conversation with a lot of my friends that are in recovery, that this is kind of, to some degree, like an alcoholic's dream. Like, being stuck at home with nowhere to go. Like, it would have been really easy for me back in the day. This is why it really is scary for people, I think, in early sobriety right now. Especially, I'm seeing these, like, you can order alcohol to be delivered to your house. There's, like, apps and stuff for that. And, you know, this liquor store that I saw today when I, like, went to the bank. You know, it's just, I don't know. Like, you could just sit at home and just get drunk all day long. Sad. It's sad. But I would have been doing, that's what I would have been doing back in the day, you know? And I think also because like any fear or worry that I would have had, I mean, that's how I dealt with issues and things that I was like afraid of. I just drank, you know, and I was like out of sight, out of mind. Don't have to worry about it today. You know, which I think is like why a lot of people drink and use, is because they just don't really want to deal with what's in front of their face. But the reality is, you just push it to the next day. I mean, it's a very much like, you know, Scarlett O'Hara attitude from, you know, Gone with the Wind. Like, oh, never mind, I won't worry about that today, I'll worry about it tomorrow. I mean, like, that's kind of like an alcoholic's mantra to some degree, you know? And then you just push those things away and push them away and push them away. And then eventually you have to deal with them. I don't know. I'm very, very grateful for my recovery right now and my recovery friends. So I did that. I literally just like ran up to the bank and like came right home. You know, that was all I did. And so then that's when I came home, and then I made my videos. And yeah. And then I got my videos up. It's taking like a long time to upload videos on YouTube right now. I don't know why. Maybe a lot of people are uploading videos at the same time. I have no idea why it's taking a long time to upload videos, but it's taking like usually it would take me 15 or 20 minutes. It's taking me like an hour and a half on some of my videos. Like my drama videos are taking like an hour and a half. I might need to just go in and, I don't know. That's kind of what started happening with but the upload time would have to do with YouTube. It wouldn't have to do with my computer. But that's what happened with my Air before. But like my MacBook Air was never as fast as my MacBook Pro has been. My MacBook Pro is like super fast. But I did notice that the upload times, times were a lot faster on the, I don't know, maybe it does have to do with the computer, although I don't think it does. And not only that, but when I first started doing YouTube, I did it on that little HP notebook. And it sometimes took me 15, 20 minutes to upload videos on that. So, it probably has to do with internet connection, I would think. Don't you think? But our internet connection is pretty fast. I don't know. I have no idea. So anyway, it's just been taking a lot longer. It was beautiful today in Indianapolis. It was 70. It was so nice outside. And we have the windows open in the house right now. It's so nice. Of course, I took my nap earlier. Alex started some new show tonight. I have no idea. Something on Netflix. And it's What If or something like that. I don't even know what it's about. Let's go in here and look. And he started watching it. I was like, is it okay? He was like, it's okay. This is how good it was, is that someone told him to watch it, I think, that when I came downstairs taking my nap, he was like watching it when I came downstairs, and then, or when I took a nap, he was watching it on the TV downstairs. And then when I got up and I came back downstairs like a couple hours later, he was watching that Tabitha. I didn't even know she was still on. Do you know who I'm talking about? I loved her back in the day. That Tabitha that goes into hair salons. What If? What is this? Desperate to secure funding for her medtech startup, an idealistic scientist and her husband strike an outrageous deal with a mysterious investor. Okay, so that's what he's watching right now. But he didn't act like it was that great. Oh my god, this Circus of Books. I heard this was really good. Somebody told me that this was supposed to be really, really good. I don't know anything about it. Oh my lord. For decades, a nice Jewish couple ran Circus of Books, a porn shop. Oh, it's got Alaska from the RuPaul's Drag Race. Circus of Books, a porn shop and epicenter for gay LA. Their director, daughter, documents their life and times. Oh, that'd be an interesting documentary. I love documentaries, don't you? Is this from Ryan Murphy? Because it says more from Ryan Murphy. Huh, that's interesting. I bet it is. I love documentaries. I loved that Trixie Mattel documentary. I thought it was so good. Partly probably because, but I'm not a huge, I wouldn't say I'm a huge Trixie Mattel fan. So Trixie Mattel is from RuPaul's Drag Race, but I liked it anyway. So then, Alex had, if you watch my review video, you know this, he was making it while I was doing the review video. We've gotten so low rent, the film quality over here at the house now, that basically I just set up a camera in the kitchen, and while he's cooking, I do a review video. Like, that's what I did today. I was like, whatever. I'd rather just, like, make a video than not have anything. And I always feel bad, too, like, because I'll be like, babe, do you care if I make a couple videos? Translates into, like, he has to go upstairs, right? Because I can't, like, make videos when he's walking back and forth in the kitchen. And he's always very, very sweet about it, you know? But at the same time, like, we've both been here now for, like, a month together. And, I don't want to have to ask him to always go upstairs for 2 hours every day, you know? Which is why I haven't been filming as many videos this month as well. I mean, that's not the only reason. It has been, I have to say, it has been really nice to, like, film videos one day, take a break the next day, and just kind of, like, hang out and relax. And what's tomorrow's weather supposed to be like? I'll probably make videos again tomorrow. I kind of was, like, really in the mood today. So, I don't know what I keep on seeing over there. It's me moving my hand. What's the weather supposed to be like tomorrow? I talked to Tanya, and she said it's supposed to rain, like, the next of the week. Or the rest of the week. 56 today. It was 70 to 6. Oh, it was 74 earlier? 56. 100% rain. Great. When does that start? Periods of rain. High 56. Chance of rain. Rain showers this evening with overcast. So tomorrow on my vlog, it'll be pouring down rain, apparently. And then Friday, 60. God, I can't believe it's almost the end of the week already. It's so crazy. The days just blur together, don't they? Friday, 67. Saturday, 59. I mean, these are still nice temperatures for Indianapolis. Sunday, 58. Monday, 63, 69, 58. And then it's all in the 60s. Oh, next week is going to be all in the 60s, but a lot of rain. I don't care, I can handle the rain. It's just really so much nicer when it's warm outside. Okay, so, yeah, that's what I did. And then I made dinner tonight. Well, I didn't really make dinner. I had, Alex is actually, he said he's going to go to the grocery store tomorrow. He was like, I've got to get a bunch of stuff. You can go with me, or you can just give me a list of what you want. I don't really know how I feel about, I'll have to see when I get up. I might go. It makes me so nervous to go to the grocery store. I really hate it. And I haven't been, I don't know the last time I went, but he's like, there's things, he's like, I just have a bunch of stuff to get, and he was like, I don't want to wait for it to be delivered, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store tomorrow. I was like, okay. And I was like, just you have to make sure that you wear, you know, your mask and everything. He was like, yeah. So he wants to go to Costco because he's got a bunch of stuff he needs to get at Costco, and then he wants to go to Fresh Time, which is like right up the street. And he wants to get a bunch of fruits and vegetables and things like that. And I think that because when he ordered from Amazon Fresh, like, his avocados weren't the way that he wanted them. And Alex has been literally cooking a meal every single night. Like, every night he's been, or every day he's been cooking a meal. Like, every day he makes, like, the avocado toast or whatever. Now, tonight for dinner, he had those chicken taco things that he got at Costco. But he's been mostly like cooking spaghetti sauce and avocado toast and rice and beans, like with like chicken pieces and stuff in there, thrown in there. So he said he goes, but he goes, you don't need to put any more of that onion dip and those chips on your list because I'm not getting that processed crap for you. I go, excuse me, I would get you whatever you wanted. He goes, I'm just joking. He goes, you can put whatever you want to put on the list. I may go. We'll have to see how I feel when I get up. So, oh, I had a really great dinner tonight. I had a piece of leftover pizza We made pizza a couple nights ago. And then I had 1 piece of pizza. And then I had, I made a cheese sandwich. And I had those peanut butter bites. And that was my dinner. And I'm full. Like, that was like hours ago, and I'm like full. I don't know. I'm eating so horribly. But anyway, I don't care too much right now. I really don't. Like, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I keep on saying to myself, I'm going to start eating healthier as of May 1st. But, like, May 1st is next week, so we'll see. Maybe the first full week in May. Maybe that's what we'll do. Never started on the weekend. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, and then I went and lay down, and Boo Radley came upstairs. And at first I was like, kind of like, well, where's Boo Radley? Because I said, when I walked up there, I was like, come on, Boo Radley, we're going to go take our nap. And sometimes he usually just like follows me up there, you know, or sometimes he follows me right up there. But he didn't tonight. And then I was like in bed, and I was laying down, and I was like, I can't believe Boo Radley didn't want to come up here and take a nap with me. My feelings were kind of hurt. And then I started falling asleep, and I was almost asleep, and all of a sudden he jumped up on the bed. And I had like my head half on like my pillow and half on Alex's pillow, and he came up and he sat on Alex's pillow. And like if my head was like right here, he went right next to me. It was so sweet. He's so sweet, little guy. But then he like burrowed underneath the blanket. He kept on moving around. He couldn't get comfortable, I guess. And then he burrowed under the blankets. And he slept under the blankets. It's so funny, Pee-Pee used to do that. And Boo Radley like definitely learned that from Pee-Pee. Because it's so funny. I remember this from years ago. That Pee-Pee could do it really well. Like he would like, you know, do it with his nose. And then he would like be under. And then he would like go in a circle. Well, Boo Radley would do it, but like he couldn't get the blanket up. Like he couldn't figure it up. And it was like, I was kind of watching him tonight, and it was sweet because he was like taking his paw and he was going like that with the blanket. It was real cute. But he's good at it now. Like he can do it, and like he can get underneath it real quick and stuff. But he never did it like for the first couple years that we had him. And he always slept in between like Alex and I's head. Boo Radley has like pretty much always slept up there, or like right on my chest. He'll sleep. He like crawls up on my chest, and then he turns on his side, and then he kind of like sinks. It's real cute. But he started like, I don't know, it was like Pee-Pee used to do it, and then Boo Radley would like go underneath the covers, and then he would sleep underneath the covers. And that was a couple years ago that he started that, and he couldn't do it. Alex and I would just sit there and we would laugh. We thought it was so cute because he would like go like this, but he wouldn't like be moving the blanket anywhere. He would just be doing that in the air, and the blanket wouldn't be going anywhere. And we'd be like, oh, Boo. But now he can do it. It's real sweet. Tucker never did. Tucker's always like, you can tell he's so hot, and he's just like, he like lays on his back like this. It's so cute. They're so funny. We literally lay out Tucker's little comfort blankets. When we make the bed, we lay the comfort blankets out on the bed. And one comfort blanket has all of his toys on it. His new favorite toy is the dragonfly that we got in, I think it was the Bark box that we got. And so now he has a hippopotamus that he loves, and the Grinch. Oh, he loves the Grinch so much. It's the hair on the top of the Grinch. He like sits there and he like goes crazy with it. And then he has the dragonfly. He has like 6 little friends, little stuffed animal friends, and we like keep them all together. And he's so cute. Like some of them, like, well, his monkey, he has like one of those. It looks like a sock monkey, you know. He has like one of those with like the red lips. He has like one of those. And oh, he got a new little lamb too, because I said we used to have Lady, and then we had little Lady. And those are both with Pee-Pee's blanket, because those were Pee-Pee's toys. And Otis, the dog, was Pee-Pee's toy too. They all shared them, but it was mostly Pee-Pee's. And so Alex wanted all that stuff together, so we like took the quilt, and Alex like tied this like really nice ribbon around it, and he put the stuff. I'm gonna get real sad if I start talking about it, but anyway. And then for the longest time I wanted it in the chair. I didn't like, or my side of the, I like this love seat on my side of the bedroom. I didn't want him to like put it in the closet, because I felt like we were boxing Pee-Pee up and putting him away, and I didn't want to do that yet. And then one day I just was like, I think it's time to like put I'm gonna get real sad talking about this. I was like, I think it's time to put the blanket in the closet, and I did. So anyway, but Tucker has all of these little toys that he plays with. So he has this new, it doesn't look anything like Lady. Lady was the lamb chops with the lips and stuff, the little, you know, the, I just can't, I want to buy him another one, but like, I don't know how I'll feel like seeing that on the bed, you know? But I kind of want to get him another Lady. We have Fake Lady too. Fake Lady, do you guys know what I'm talking about? The lamb stuffed animals that like for dogs. She's called Lamb Chops. But anyway, we used to call her Lady because she had lips. And I'd be like, who's your lady friend? I'd always say that to them. And, such a pretty lady. So anyway, but they loved Lady, the original Lady, and who was like this big, and they took all of her stuffing out, and she was real flat. She was Pee-Pee's favorite. Pee-Pee would just lay his head on her all day long. And Tucker liked her too. So I feel kind of bad because it's kind of like we took like Tucker's toys away, but Alex is like, Tucker has 400 toys. Like these were Pee-Pee's toys, and these were specifically his toys at the very end. Like they were the toys that he had with him like the last 6 months, like that he always had right by him. Little Lady was like this little lamb chop, and then Otis, the dog. And so it was sweet because Alex, like, when he tied it up together with this, like, ribbon, he did, like, such a nice job of keeping them in there. So sweet. But anyway, so we got, like, a little lamb in one of the subscription boxes that we get, either Bark Box or Dapper Dog Box. And I was like, look, I go, Tucker, it's a new lady. I go, aren't you so excited? And I go, we had Lady, and then we had Little Lady, which was like L-I-L, Little Lady. We had Lady, and then we had Little Lady, and he just looks at me with his big eyes. He's so sweet. And then I said, and now we have Littlest Lady, because Littlest Lady's like this big, but she's not really a lady. She's just a lamb. So anyway, I remember at my mom's, okay, so my mom loved lambs. She loved any story of lambs in the Bible and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So when I was planning her funeral, my aunt and I, we went to my mom's church, and I had grown up going to this church, but it was a different pastor at that point, because like the pastor that I grew up having there, like he had passed away. He was a really nice guy. He had passed away, so like years before, so it was a new pastor. And I knew that like my mom, like she liked him, he was okay, but like she was never like wowed by him or anything like that. You know, like people like, they like, oh my God, I love, you know. Anyway, the pastor that like we had when I was growing up, my mother like adored this man. And at the end, my mom was actually going to 2 different churches, but this was the church that she was like, it like really meant something to my mom to be a member of a church. Like that like meant something, like a signed member of a church. If some of you out there are members of churches, you'll know what I mean. But like for her, like that was a really big deal. And so this was her church. And so I went and met with him, and it was so obvious that he like really didn't know a whole lot about my mom. Which, whatever, you know. She only sang in the choir and did well, I don't know what it's called when you get the communion ready, and did Kids Cafe for like 10 years there. I mean, she was an integral part of his church, you know. So then you go in and you meet with this guy, and he's like, yeah, and like talking about my mom, and I'm like, he's like, have you thought about any music? Well, my mom's hymn book, she had literally like 100 songs picked out for a funeral. I mean, like she would have notes in there that said, I want this song at my funeral. But she also wanted songs about lambs, because my mom loved lambs, and she wanted like phrases from the Bible spoken in her, she wanted like a church service. So she wanted like she wanted things said about the lambs. And the parts that my mom loved, I don't know what the sayings are. Actually, in some book that I read, it was Educated. She was talking about it in there, about like Jesus with the lambs and things like that. And like protecting the lambs. Okay, so I said this to him, and he was like, oh yeah, like I have these different like Bible verses and whatever, and they were like slaughter of the lambs and whatever. I was like, no, I don't think this is really, it was bizarre. But anyway, so now we have Littlest Lady. So we pose like all of the stuffed animals on, because Boo Radley will lay on the comfort blanket during the day, but he won't sleep on it at night. I don't know why. He likes to like either sleep between us or he likes to go underneath the blanket. But Tucker will not, like, he has to sleep on the comfort blanket every night. And so, that's the one that Jenny sent us. So anyway, so we put all the stuffed animals on one. Of course, this is all on my side because Alex couldn't have it on his side, you know? And then he sleeps on the other one with his head like on the very end of it so he can like look at all of his little friends. It's so cute. It's so cute. Don't tell me dogs don't understand stuff like that. They do. Dogs know, like, you know what I mean? I don't know what they know. And it kind of made me sad the other day because I said to Alex, I said, it makes me sad that Boo Radley, like, doesn't understand toys. Boo Radley doesn't understand the purpose of toys. He doesn't. Like, you can squeak that squeaker toy and he'll be like, he doesn't understand it. He doesn't like it. He doesn't understand what it is. You can throw it and he'll run if Tucker runs. But if he ran to the toy, he wouldn't know what to do with it. And I said to Alex, I said, it kind of makes me sad that Boo Radley doesn't really get toys. And he goes, what makes you sad about it? I go, I don't know. It just makes me sad he doesn't really get it. And, you know, we used to be so weird about never feeding the dogs like human food. And after PP died, because like Alex was always like very, very strict about it. Like, we're not feeding our dogs human food. We're not starting that. We're not, like, they're strictly only going to eat like dog food, right? And so then like, it was after that he was like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not going to do it all the time, but I'm going to let them have little, like, you know, pieces of things here and there. I was like, okay, whatever. And, so he had a bag of popcorn the other night, and it was like that, you know, simple popcorn that has like nothing on it. And I said, give Boo and Tucker a piece of popcorn. I said, you know, like, everybody that I know, their dogs love popcorn. Give them a piece of popcorn, right? And he was like, they won't like it. And I said, yes, they will. So he gives Boo and Tucker a piece of popcorn. Tucker like licks it and like throws it on the ground, right? Because he couldn't be bothered with it. And then Boo takes it to the stairs. Boo takes every treat he gets and runs to the stair and then like plays with it. So I look over. Boo Radley comes rushing back. He picks up Tucker's piece and he runs to the stairs. He's got two of these pieces of popcorn. He's like going like this with it. Like, he does know how to play with that kind of stuff, right? And I said, Alex, this is so hilarious. You have to see this. And he's like playing with this popcorn and like throwing it up in the air and whatever. Okay. So flash forward, like an hour later, we think he's eating the popcorn and it's all gone and everything. And we're like all of us laying in bed together, right? And I look over and Boo Radley's just like sitting there like this. And I'm like, what's going on, Boo? Why are you being so weird? And like I came near him, like I was like, Boo, and I was like trying to like pet his face, you know, and he goes like this. And I go, Boo, what is wrong? And Alex goes, what are you talking about? He was like listening to the show. He took his AirPod out and he goes, what's wrong? And I go, Boo's like acting so strange. And Alex goes, Boo, let me see. And he like, and so Alex like, we're like both looking at Boo and Boo's like this. And we can see in his mouth he has that piece of popcorn. An hour later, it was so funny. We got laughing so hard. Fun and games at the Monn Peretta's house during lockdown. Did you ever think in a million years, like in your lifetime, this would ever happen? Like, we literally could not leave our houses. Like, I never thought this would ever happen. Tanya said to me today on the phone, she's so funny. She said to me, she's like, where her head goes with this stuff. She's like, if I had $10 million and a lot of mulch, I don't even know that I would care. I go, what? And she goes, if I had $10 million and a lot of mulch and like all the plants in the world to like make my yard beautiful, I don't even know that I would care. I go, what is mulch and flash? She goes, because I, you know, like I want to have all this stuff in my yard right now. I want to make my yard like so pretty and whatever. I'm like, just get online. Everybody's posting pictures of how pretty their yards look. They're talking about slowly opening stuff up back in Indianapolis next week. I guess like some of the first things they're going to open are dentist offices. I read that in an article. And like nurseries, like plant places. and some of those kind of places. They said something about they want to reopen like gyms and nail salons and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not sure I feel real comfortable with all this. You know, it's gonna stop. Okay, if I do not catch that button, and I didn't, it has this whole thing that comes up there, and my old camera didn't do this, where it says like, you have reached the maximum recording time, or something. The recording time has stopped, and it's all stuff, and then I have to wait like a couple seconds before I can start it again. But anyway, I don't know. It'll be weird to see what like stores they open first. But like every person that I know has like been at home forever. Like literally every person. I don't know. It's so weird. Okay, let's talk about the audiobook, or the book for the book club. So, did I talk about this already? I don't think I did. Did I? I don't know. Anyway, I finished Molly's Game by Molly Bloom tonight. I gave it 4 stars. I gave the performance 5 stars. The performance was great. I don't know who the narrator is, but she was really good. She just narrated something else that I read. I think Educated or Where the Crawdads Sang. I think it was Where the Crawdads Sang. It was good. It was an interesting book. It's about how she gets to being like the #1 person in the country that's like running these high stakes poker games. And she's very smart. It's an interesting read. You know what it reminds me of? I read part of the book, and I had the book. I bet I still have the book. It's probably in my basement. No, but seriously, I bet I do still have the book somewhere. But one of my favorite, oh my god, I wonder if this Lifetime movie is on, or made-for-TV movie is on YouTube, because I loved it so much. Did you ever see Mayflower Madam with Candice Bergen? Okay. Mayflower. I'll die if it's on here. No. Sydney Biddle Barrels is like the real one. Okay, wait. Mayflower Madam. Full movie. Beverly Hills Madam. No, I don't know that one. They don't even have it on here. Well, I can't believe they don't have it on here. God, that was such a great made-for-TV movie. I want to see where you can watch it. Mayflower Madam. Full. Did you guys ever see it? These are the things I watched as a kid. Let's see what year it came out. 1987. So I was 15, and this movie had like a drastic effect on my life. Can you watch it anywhere? Is there anywhere that you can watch it? They literally don't have, you can't watch it anywhere. Are you kidding me? They don't have it anywhere. Huh. Find any film. It says, oh my god, I have to tell you guys something so weird. For years and years and years and years and years, I may have talked about this on here. I wanted to find this movie that I had seen with my friends when I was in high school. And the movie, I think I did finally figure this out one night, but it's on demand right now. I could not believe it. The movie is called Lisa, but I swore that the movie was called I Saw What You Did, I Know Who You Are. And I think it's because in the movie, they play that game where they call this guy up and they're like, I saw what you did and I know who you are. And it's with Cheryl Tiegs, is that her name? Did you guys ever see this movie? where it's like the two girls and they're like pranking the guy on the phone, and then they like, she goes to the restaurant and she acts like she's her mom's sister because she wants to order like an alcoholic drink. An alcoholic drink, that sounded so funny, didn't it? But anyway, I was like looking through the on-demand movies the other night, and it came up. And the movie, and for years, I mean, literally, you guys, I have looked for this movie forever, and it's called Lisa. Movie. Cheryl Ladd. Okay, it's called Lisa. Single mom, Cheryl Ladd forbids her 14-year-old daughter, Lisa, Stacy Keenan, from dating. Frustrated, Lisa and her equally lonely friend, Wendy, Tanya Finmore, don't know who that is, takes to secretly following attractive men, sneakily learning their numbers and prank calling them. It's all in fun until Lisa phones the handsome Richard, D.W. Moffat, who mistakes her for a grown woman and forges an emotional connection with her, but Lisa doesn't know that Richard is a stalker himself, and he's dangerous. This movie was so good back in the day, and it's on demand right now, and I think it was a made-for-TV movie, but it was great. I don't know if it was a made-for-TV movie or not, but I loved it back in the day. Look at this girl that played Wendy. What happened to her? Or played, yeah, Tanya Finmore. She's known for the Twilight movie. Twilight Zone, the movie. Anyway, Mayflower Madam is with Candice Bergen, and it was about this woman, and she, I think, was going through a divorce. It's a true story about Sydney Bito Barrows, and I became literally obsessed with escort agencies after I read this book. Like, I can remember when I was, like, in high school, and, like, people would ask me, they'd be like, what do you want to do for a living? After I saw this movie, I was like, I want to run an escort agency like the Mayflower Madam, but treat the women that work for me really, really well. Like, that's what I want to do. And, so I had seen this movie, and did I read the book? I don't remember. I can see the cover of the book. It's, like, purple, I think, or something. But anyway, I swear to God, I thought somebody just walked behind my car. That scared the hell out of me. Don't think if somebody didn't pull up on this car, I wouldn't put this car in the park and get out of here so quick, your head would spin. And not only that, but I hope they're not standing behind my car, because it wouldn't be a pretty sight. Anyway, I would, what was I gonna say? So I read this book in high school, or no, I watched a movie. I don't know if I read the book or not. But anyway, it was like pink or purple, the cover of the book. I should find it and see if I can find it. Sydney Bito Barrows was like a direct descendant of the Mayflower. And that's like how the whole thing starts. And then she's like going through a divorce or something. I can't remember. And she like needs a job. So she starts working for this escort agency. But they treat like the girls like horribly, right? And like they don't get them like health benefits. And they're like always tired and whatever. So she starts her own agency. And she ends up getting busted. But it was like this really great movie. Oh my God, it is. Look at it right here. Here it is. Oh. I can get it for $4.19 if I wanted to. Can you see? There's the cover. Did any of you out there watch? Oh, this is on Thrift Books. I should totally buy this. Screenshot it. I love thrift books so much, don't you? I actually bought a book tonight because I was watching this thing with Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek. I love him. I totally understand why Alex likes him now. Like, he's real endearing. He seems like a really sweet guy. Let me see what the name of the book is. I can't remember. It's a Joan Didion book. Okay, so I have been wanting to read, ever since I saw the Joan Didion documentary, I've been wanting to read a Joan Didion book. And for the book club the first year, we were going to, I think it was the last book that we were going to read for that year was A Year of Magical Thinking, and we never ended up reading it, and I never ended up reading the book. So in this Yeah, that's my shadow over there. In this thing that I watched was like 10 essential... Dan Levy did this video, and it was like 10 essential on YouTube. 10 essential things that he has to have with him at all times. And one was like this Japanese... He goes to Japan a lot, I guess. He loves Japan. And so it was like this candle that you can only buy in Japan, and these matches that are like incense that you can only buy. And he's talking about giving them away as gifts. And then Prada dress pants is like what he wears like all the time. And then, it was interesting because a lot of his stuff was kind of like really high end. Like a pair of Prada dress pants probably would set you back about $1,000, I would think. $600 or $1,000. I mean, expensive, not cheap. And, but the one thing that he said in there was, he said his dog, which was really sweet. Like in all of his interviews, he always talks about his dog. He talked about this book called Slouching Towards Bethlehem. And he said he always keeps it with him because it's like his favorite book. And whenever he needs inspiration or motivation, he like whips this book out. It's a book of essays. So I got on Audible because I was going to buy it. And I was like, you guys are going to die. When I got on Audible, do you know who the narrator is for this book? Diane Keaton, who is like one of my all-time favorite actresses of life. And my mother loved Diane Keaton so much. And, so anyway, I was going to get this Audible version, but then I started reading the reviews, and every review was like, Diane Keaton ruined this book. Like, her narration is horrible, blah, 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 whatever. So I was like, I'm just going to get an order on Amazon. So I ordered on Amazon. It was like $9 or $11 or something like that. So that's coming. But yeah, so I ordered this. Oh, no. The Mayflower Madam movie. It was so good. It was about the City Bideau Barrows, and she was like this very classy, conservative, like upper class, came from the Mayflower family descendant, and lived in New York City, like in Manhattan, and I can't remember why she started doing it, but she was like down on her luck, and she like took this job to like answer phones, and she didn't know what it was for, and it was for an escort agency. But the guy that like ran it was like so mean to the girls, and he was ruthless. And so she was like, I could do this, but I could do this better. And it was very similar to the same thing that happened in Molly's game. Because Molly like kind of worked for this guy, and she was like, I know that I could do this better, right? So it was very similar in that way. I keep on thinking, I see somebody like walking behind my car. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't know what's making me think that. So anyway, I don't like that. It makes me nervous. So anyway, I watched that movie back in the day, and I was like so affected by it. I totally forgot about that. Whenever I talk about movies and shows and stuff, I never remember that movie. Like, that's crazy. Like, that movie had like a big effect on me. That and everything to do with Sandra Bernhard in high school. I think that she was just like so fluid with who she was as a human being that like I loved her so much. And I can remember the way that I found out about Sandra Bernhard was from an interview that she did on David Letterman. And I actually like have it on a VCR tape in my basement somewhere. And I've watched it so many times. I loved Sandra Bernhard so much. I loved her. And I still do. But she's kind of lost a little bit of what, like, her humor was so intellectual, but kind of so authentic and genuine. Like, I literally had pictures of her, like, magazine clippings in my locker. Like, that was all I had in my locker was, like, magazine clippings of, like, her and Madonna. I love Sandra Bernhard so much. And, my friends went and heard her at IU, two of my friends, and, like, they recorded the whole thing. And at the end, they got, like, they took one of my, I had a book of hers, and they took it and had her sign it, and she said something about, like, why isn't he here? And they said, well, he's on vacation. I was on vacation or something. I can't remember where I was. And she was like, well, F him for not being here and rather being on vacation or something. It was like my proudest moment. But I loved her so much. She was so liberating to me, you know. And I look at the people that were like, Always women. It was always women that I felt liberated by in high school, you know? And all my friends were women, too, or were girls in high school. And all of my friends were girls in high school. Like, each one of them, like, were so uniquely different. But, like, on their own, had their own, like, authenticity. And it almost kind of, like, I, like, picked a little bit from each person. Like, I don't know. But I was always, like in high school, I was so pulled by, like, Stevie Nicks. Like, I loved Stevie Nicks in high school. One of my friends from high school, she watches this vlog every single day. She was one of my very, very dear friends in high school, and she watches this vlog every single day. She can attest to the fact that we would literally get in my car, drive around, and listen to Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks, and smoke clove cigarettes. Like, that's what we did. And we went to Schaefer's and had fondue, or this sandwich place called Schultz's downtown, and, like, that's what we did, you know? Like, but, like, I loved all, you know, R.E.M., The Smiths in high school. I loved, like, female singers. I always, like, Mama Cass from, the Mamas and the Papas. Loved her. And, Joan Baez. You know, I just love Judy Collins. I love so much. And what is this? Why can't I think of what's her face? Why can't I think of her name? Joan, shoot. She took 100 and she still smokes. I live for her. Both Sides Now. She sang the version that I love. Joni Mitchell. I didn't even get to it before, but Joni Mitchell. There is a version, I actually have it on my SoundCloud, and I will tell you who it is. Look this up. It's so fantastic. It's probably on YouTube. Joni Mitchell. No. I don't want that. I haven't used SoundCloud in so long I don't even know how to... Where are my songs? Liked tracks. Search. Both Sides Now. Oh, here it is. Joni Mitchell. Okay, so... I need to stop this. Okay. Why did it just do that? I don't know why it did that. SoundCloud. Oh my god, it's like pulling up all these stupid things. I don't even know what this is. So, if you ever saw the movie, the Christmas movie that takes place in England, I can't remember, it's called like Almost Something or whatever. It's that one, but I'm going to tell you if I can find it on the YouTube video. Joni, it is the most, I love the song Both Sides Now. It's probably in my top 3 favorite songs of life. Joni Mitchell, Both Sides Now. Live 2000. I think this is it. If you go to Joni Mitchell, Both Sides Now, 2000 Lives, I don't know if that's it. Yeah, it is. It's so good, you guys. It is so good. It is literally, like, will give you chills. It's so fantastic. But, you know, I was always, like, really, I don't know, all of the people that I feel, like, the majority of the people that I have been inspired by in my life, Carol Burnett as a comedian, Sandra Bernhardt as a comedian, you know, Roseanne Barr back in the day, like, I loved her back in the day, you know, just so quick-witted, but very smart, like, brilliantly smart humor, And just so many people, you know, that I just, like, you could just sit and just listen to them talk for hours, you know what I mean? Oprah, you know, Maya Angelou. But yeah, like Sandra Bernhardt in high school. She had this show that she did in New York City called Without You, I'm Nothing. And I had the tape, and I literally knew every single word to the entire live show that she did called Without You, I'm Nothing. And my friends and I would drive around and we would just like say all of the lines to the song, or to the show. I loved it. And it was like a vaudeville show. Like, she would sing, because she comes from like that background of like, you know, Dean Martin and Las Vegas and stuff like that, and she loves that whole background. And so it was like a lot of songs and whatever, and it ended with Prince's Little Red Corvette. I just loved it so much. I don't know why I was so inspired by her in high school. I think she was free. I think I saw this person, you know, like on David Letterman. I remember the episode that's my favorite is she has like this black skirt on and this like black sport coat, and it like buttons across, and she has like just a bra underneath it, and she keeps on going, woo, like this. And she's eating these chocolate kisses. And there was something so beautifully awkward about her that you could tell that she was awkward and uncomfortable, but at the same time free and didn't care. But it was kind of this battle within itself, that she was like wanted so bad to be accepted and to be loved, but wanted that only for if you accept me and love me for myself. And I think like I have that statement, I think I have related to the most in my life. Like, I don't want to have to change or appeal to the masses to be liked and to be loved. Like, I want to be able to be me and be that, you know? I want to be able to be who I am and have people like me for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and definitely back in high school, that's how I felt. Like, I didn't want to have to play the game. And you know, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I wouldn't have been liked, even if I had played the game in high school. I mean, nobody was going to like me any more than they, you know, didn't already. I don't think a lot of people, though, you know, in looking back, I don't think it was that, God, my beard is driving me crazy, dude. I don't think that it was often that people didn't like me. I think it was people were afraid of association, if that makes sense. Like, because it's crazy to me how many people from high school these days, like in the last year or two, have like friended me from high school and been like, oh my God, you know, like, how are you doing? Your life looks so cool, blah, 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 blah. I just want to reach out and say hi to you. It's like, it happens so often, right? And, you know, and I'm not like an evil, nasty person about it. I could be like, you know what? Like, you were so rude to me in high school, you couldn't even be bothered to say hi, but now you want to be my friend? Like, what's that about? You know what I mean? But I don't say that. I'm just like, whatever. I'm always like, hey, how are you? It's good to hear from you. Because I don't really feel in my heart of hearts that bitterness. I'm not going to say that it doesn't cross my mind. Obviously, it just did. You know, like when somebody friends me, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, you know? But then I think about, well, who do I want to be? You know, who would I want to greet me at my door? The person I was 30 years ago and hold on to that anger and that I can't wait to get out of here mentality. I don't want that, you know? Love it or hate it, you know, I shared 12 years with a lot of the same people that on the day that I graduated, I haven't seen any of those people since. You know, and they had a huge impact on my life. And it's always interesting to me when people are like, you know, like, why does stuff from high school still bother you today? And I'm like, you do realize, like, I was in school with some of these people that, like, I have a lot of positive experiences from people too, right? But, like, for 12 years. And those are our formative development years, you know, that they have formed me into who I am today. I don't think as much about it as I used to. I think recently I've been thinking a lot about it because my 30-year reunion is this summer. I'm wondering if we're still going to have it because of the everything that's going on. I have a feeling we probably won't. I keep on checking to see if I haven't even bought my tickets for it yet. For the long time, I felt like I had this thing, I needed to go. Like, I was like, I have to go to this. And then I was like, I don't know. Like, I called my friend, or I texted my friend, and I was like, are you going to go to the reunion? And she was like, I don't know, are you? And I said, I'll go if you go. Well, this is my friend that, like, we were supposed to go to our 25th together, and then at the last minute, my friend Courtney, you know, that was, she was in a vlog with me when I went to that Rev thing. Well, she judges pageants, and so she asked me to judge this glitz pageant. I had never judged a glitz pageant at that point. I wanted to, and so that was my birthday weekend, and it was like, do that or go to my reunion. And I was like, I'm judging this glitz pageant, you know what I mean? And my friend was like, kind of put off about it. She was like, you know, she ended up having a great time and whatever, and so, but she joked, like, when I asked her, and she's like, well, I'll buy a ticket. She's like, but if you end up not going this time, I said, no, I'll go. If I say I'm going to buy a ticket this time, I'm going to go. I mean, unless I get asked to judge another glitz pageant or something. No, on my 30th, I would definitely go. That's a big one. And I think a lot of, it's like, and they're doing big stuff for it. It's like a 3-day thing. And they're having people, like, you know, people are flying into town and all this kind of stuff. So I would definitely go do that. It is so hot in here. It was 70 degrees. Oh God, it's like almost as warm outside as it is in here. Which would beg to ask the question, then, why do you have the heat on, Peter? I don't know. Just turn it off. I was cool a little bit earlier when I was listening to my audiobook. But, I really, really, really was excited about the reunion. I was like, I really want to do this. I want to go. I had a great time at my 20th. I did. I had a fantastic time at my 20th, you know? I kind of didn't want it to end. And it was nice seeing everybody again, you know? And, I don't know why I'm getting sad thinking about it. I think it's just hard getting older, you know? I never thought I would be at my 30-year reunion. It just feels so weird. But I think sometimes, like, what happened to me and my friends and driving around and smoking clove cigarettes and listening to that music, like, I miss that, you know? But, like, we all grow up. I think we all have to, you know? And then I started thinking, like, well, maybe I don't need to go to this reunion. Like, maybe there was something in me at first. Like, for my 20th, I was like, no, I'm going. Like, I want to show them that they didn't keep me down. Like, I really, like, that was my intention. True story. And I walked in, and it was like, I looked good, and I was super thin and in shape, and I was tan, and, you know, Alex went with me, and we had such a great time, and he knew so many people there, and, that he had met through business and stuff. It just was so, I don't know, it was nice. It was really fun. And then I was like, oh my God, if we have one every year, I'll come to it. But now that it's been 10 years, I'm kind of nervous again about going. Like I was, like, so when we went for our 20th, I went with another friend of mine, not the one that I reached out to this time, but another friend, who she did not have such a great time at the reunion. She kept on wondering why I was like, because all these people were coming up to me and being like, I'm really sorry for, like, how I treated you in high school. I mean, people were so nice to me. And she was like, I don't understand why you're forgiving these people. Like, you know, like, they made your life a living hell in high school, and you're just like, whatever about it. And I'm like, I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be resentful, you know? And, but, like, I left there having had such a good time that I was like, I'm going to go to every reunion. But I was so nervous before we went. I remember we were here, and, because she had, like, driven over here, and we were going to all drive together. And, I have, like, a minute left before it stops. I got to remember that so it doesn't stop on me. And, doesn't it look like there's a big, like, huge tree branch right there? What is that? Oh, it's my car window. My dirty car window. Kind of. No, it's like outside too, I guess. It's the sky in the distance. But anyway, we were standing there, and like at the last minute, I was like, I don't want to go. And Alex was like, what? And he was like, I don't really care if we go or if we don't go, but like, you have been like playing this up. And she was like, we're not gonna go. She was like, oh no, we're going. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And Alex goes, come on, we're going. Like, he's like, we're gonna do this, don't do this. He was like, we're gonna go. But I got such bad social anxiety. I was so scared and so nervous at the last minute. And I'm just so glad. I don't know how, it was something like that. But anyway, I'm so glad. Okay. But I'm so glad that I ended up going. And I had a really great time, you know? So I don't know, maybe it's just that social anxiety of going again, you know? I don't know why. It feels so weird that it's been 30 years. I don't know. But anyway. This Diet Coke tastes so good tonight. Oh my God, last night, after my vlogs, I was so thirsty for water. I went inside and chugged so much water. And then I brought out my like clear Starbucks cup filled with water. That's what I drink water in like every day now. It's weird when I look at the times of my life that like impacted me becoming who I am the most today. It's like, I think like, okay, junior high, I was like afraid of my own shadow and who I wanted to be, but I was kind of starting to come out of that shell a little bit. And then by the time I was in high school, I feel like I was testing the waters of who like I wanted to be, like belief system wise, stylistically, all that kind of stuff. And then when I got out of high school, I think like I felt free, but it was so liberated as well by drugs and alcohol that I really don't know in retrospect how much was me and how much was the drugs or the alcohol. You know what I mean? I really don't. I mean, when I look back on some of the wild times that I had going out and stuff like that, I'm like, really like, who, was that you? Or was that like the alcohol and the drugs speak? I really don't know, you know? Even like the things that I was interested in, the things that I did and all of that kind of stuff was just very much centered all around this culture of partying, you know? And then I got sober. And my first year was literally like, I felt like I had been like, just, I keep on thinking I see stuff out there. I feel like I just felt clean. Like, and I don't mean like clean and sober. I mean like clean. Like, haircut short. I didn't dress real avant-garde or different, which I had a lot in my life. I just dressed very plain, you know, and very plain haircut. And read a ton of lot of like spiritual stuff and recovery stuff. And my life for my first year or two of sobriety was just very, very basic. Like coffee meetings, dating a couple guys, coffee meetings, dating a couple guys. You know what I mean? It was just very simple, very basic. It wasn't really about figuring out who Peter was as a person. And then, you know, like I started working at like 5 months sober, you know, right around that time. And I think I just wanted to do such a good job that I don't know, like, I think for so long I have like, maybe starting then is really when I felt like I don't know, I feel like, you know, like when I talk about like what is like, how does your soul dress, how does your soul sing and things like that, I feel like to some degree, like that's probably the biggest message I need to hear in my life, you know, is that I feel like I have pushed that down so far. It's like, I love fashion. I love everything about it. I'm too heavy right now to get enjoying clothes. Like, I just can't. Like, every time I, you know, like, want to get excited about putting on an outfit or whatever, like, I don't, you know? And I keep on thinking, like, I want to do this Instagram, like, outfit of the day and, like, putting together looks and stuff, because Alex really enjoys it, and I know I would too. And so, I keep thinking, like, I really want to, like, work on my Instagram, but then I get kind of, like, down about it. But I'm like, you know, like, but there are a lot of things that I do, like, I totally dress for comfort. Like, I think in the back in the day, that's something that, like, I never really did, you know? Like, maybe I'm not stylistically the coolest clothes and whatever, you know, together right now when I dress, because I just want to be comfortable. But, like, back in the day, that's something, like, I never would have done. Like, I can tell you, like, 5 years ago, if you had told me I would be sitting in a car in just a plain purple Target t-shirt and a baseball hat with my hair a mess, and not even caring if I take it off to show you all my darling Jolene Joes kicking 50, listen, I would have been like, there's no way. There's no way. I was too hypercritical of myself. Like, I would have had to at least looked on camera, like I was, like, looking at this, like, I was watching one of my videos today, and it was, like, I think it was my review video, and I was, like, moving around. I was, like, you could really see how heavy I was. And I was like, you know what? I don't really care. Like, I'll either lose it or I won't. You know what I mean? At some point. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But that's one thing that has really changed about, I think, my soul and who I am, and speaking to that, you know? One of the things that, like, my mom used to say is, like, we would, like, drive on my street when I was growing up, and she would turn the music down. She'd be like, have to turn the music down when you pull into the street, because she always, like, cared so much what her neighbors thought. Like, I always think about that, and I just keep on playing my music loud. I'm like, this is who I am, you know? And I'm gonna play my music loud, and I'm gonna be that, and whatever. So maybe it isn't so much... Maybe maybe for so long I thought, you know, it was the clothes you wear and how you look, and maybe it's none of that, you know? I always thought, like, for me, I wanted the outer to represent the inner. And do you hear my stomach? I'm, like, kind of hungry. But maybe it's not about that at all, you know? I don't know. I mean, I do know this. If I was, like, 160 or 170, I would dress much different. Because I love clothes. And I love, you know, putting cute outfits together. I love clothes. And when you're heavy, the last thing that you want to do is put together an outfit, especially when it's not comfortable. Like, I'm 100% all about comfort these days. If it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it, period. End of story. I mean, like, that is it. I don't care. If it's not comfortable, I don't wear it. So I don't know, like, who I've become through the years. It's interesting. I almost kind of feel like, to some degree, like, with my, I feel like I'm more liberated now than I was when I was younger. Because I think, to some degree, I don't care as much, you know? I know that when my mom, she got sober at 51, and, you know, like, my mom had, like, a lot of issues. I was just telling my neighbor this when I was sitting on the patio the other day. I was telling the story. You know, my mom was extremely big-breasted all of her life, and she's 5 foot, and so it was really painful for her. And, like, her dream her whole life was that she wanted to get a breast reduction, and she'd be like, I can't believe I was married to a plastic surgeon for so long and I never got a breast reduction. But, like, she just was always, like, wore tight sweaters and tried to, like, you know, push her breasts down and things like that. She was not, like, she was ashamed of them. And later she told me, like, when I was growing up, she told me about this story. I've shared this on here before, that my mom, like, that happened to my mom. My mom started developing very early, and there were these boys that were looking in her windows, and her stepdad, like, went outside with, like, a shotgun or something, and, like, the police came, and all this kind of stuff, because he called the police about these boys that were peeping Toms. Well, when the police, like, questioned my mom about it, okay, who was in the situation, like, it obviously wasn't her fault that these guys were looking in the windows. The police asked her questions like, when you go to school, do you wear tight sweaters? Do you flirt with the boys? Like, those were the questions that she got. And so my mother, all her life, the message that she heard was, you know, if basically, like, that you don't, if you dress that way, then this is what you're gonna get. Which is, I mean, my mother, for being a liberal and a feminist, knew better, but she didn't. She wore clothes that, for a long time, that were somewhat conservative, you know? I wouldn't say conservative, like, as if she was, like, going to Sunday church every, you know, but, I mean, she wore crew neck t-shirts instead of v-neck t-shirts, because if she wore v-neck t-shirts, it would show her cleavage, and she was always really embarrassed of that. Well, she got sober, and then, you know, 51, 52. My mom loved her 50s. She absolutely loved her 50s. She was like, you're old enough, you just don't care anymore. And she was like, and you're old enough that you're not so old that you can't enjoy your life, but you're, like, old enough that you can, like, still enjoy your life a lot and not care enough. And as much as I don't want to be in my 50s, at the same time, I have that to look forward to, because my mother was just so carefree in her 50s. And I remember my mom in her 50s started only wearing two colors, really, black and pink, hot pink. But typically black every single day. And she got this kind of severe haircut, and it was very much this Victoria Beckham kind of, like, bob kind of thing that she tucked behind one ear, and she wore big black sunglasses. And she would, and then she grew her hair back out for a while, but not for long. Towards the end, when she got sick, she had it short again. But, and she would always wear, like, she didn't wear jeans until later in life, which I think is so funny, but she wore, like, jeans, or she would wear, like, capri pants, which she always called, like, pedal pushers. And, then she would wear real stacked, like, sandals, because she was really, really short. And always black turtlenecks, black v-neck t-shirts, black short sleeve t-shirts, black sweater sets, always black. She loved black. And I remember her wearing a v-neck sweater, and she said, I just don't care anymore. Like, if guys want to look at my breasts, they can look at my breasts all day long. Like, I do not care. Like, if that's where they find importance, that's fine. But they're going to find the importance if they look up. And she's like, I'm just going to be me. I don't really care, you know? And it's so fun. This was what I was telling my neighbor, because my mom got to the point where she would be like, Peter, my breasts are so uncomfortable for my size. Like, as she got older, you know? And she would say, I wish I had had a breast reduction years ago. And I'm like, is it really that bad? And she'd say, Peter. Okay, the battery died. I didn't even know it was at the end. This camera is so hot, you guys. And the battery is, like, fire hot, too. But anyway, like, I remember my mom saying, I keep on putting this on tonight, but I don't care. My mom saying to me, like, it got so bad at the end, you know, like, she was like, well, I would say, like, the last 2 or 3 years of her life, she would say, I wish I had gotten a breast reduction, like, years ago. My back hurts. And she would say, you know, when I sleep at night, like, if I don't wear a bra, like, my breasts just go to my side. It's so uncomfortable. She was like, I can't sleep on my stomach. I can't sleep on my side. I have to sleep on my back, and it, like, is not comfortable, you know? And so she started wearing, maybe it was before 2 to 3 years before, maybe it was, like, about 5 years before she passed away. She started wearing jogging bras, like, literally all the time. And, you know, like, the jogging bras that are, like, a strap, like, one strap in the back, like that. She wore them all the time. And she stopped wearing bras. She just wore jogging bras. And I said something to her one time about it. I was like, why are you wearing a jogging bra all the time? And she was like, it's so comfortable. It's basically like, and she said, like, I have a uniboob. She was like, it just, like, pushes everything together, and it's real comfortable. And she was like, it's so easy to walk around, because she was walking a lot. And she's like, it doesn't hurt my back as much. And she's like, but it's still, my back really, really hurts, okay? Now, my mom had thought that she was a triple D all her life, and she was 5 foot. Like, she was real short. And, I mean, constantly, like, she was so afraid that she would be hunched over. What's interesting in retrospect is that my grandma and my aunt were really big-breasted, too. And she would always talk about how, I mean, I know these are kind of weird things to talk about, but I don't know. Like, I'm really thankful that my mom talked about this stuff openly with me. You know, it like really kind of gave me an understanding to some degree of what she went through. And so she would say, like, grandma shrunk 2 inches or something. She was like 5 foot, and then she was like 4'10" when she passed away because she was so hunched over. And she would say because she didn't drink her milk and she had osteoporosis. Like, my mom believed that. And I'm like, looking back on that, I think, no, grandma was hunched over because her breasts were so big, and it probably was so painful for her. Like, both, like, everybody in that side of the family, you know, had really big breasts. And so my mom, about 2 years before she passed away, she saw some Oprah. It was like an Oprah show where they talked about sizing your breasts, like going to that. If you have like a lot of back pain, it's because you're not like your breast. It's supposed to like a bra is supposed to like hold you up, right? Like it's supposed to hold your breasts up, like to their natural position. And that, so she like watched a show and she went and got to Nordstrom and she got sized. And I'll never forget. I feel like I just talked about this not too long ago. She called me and she said, I'm so embarrassed. And I said, what are you embarrassed about, Mom? And she said, I thought I was a D all my life. She was like, I'm a J. And she was like, I just didn't even really know that they made bras that big, you know? And she ordered a couple bras she ordered I think it was 2 bras because they were so expensive, and she had to like custom order them from Victoria's Secret. And then she bought like 2 other bras that were like Ready bras. But she told me afterwards, she was like, it's like literally night and day. And I was like, really? And she's like, oh, like it feels like I've had a breast reduction. I'm like, seriously? She's like, oh yeah, it's like literally night and day. So, I don't know, something to think about, you know? I think it's sad too that she never, you know, she was so afraid of surgery. I think, like, had she gotten a breast reduction, I think she would have been, number 1, more comfortable in her own body. And number 2, I think, more physically comfortable in her own body. But number 2, I think she would have felt more confident, you know? That thing that happened to her, you know, with those, like, from, like, when she was, like, in junior high or high school, she carried that with her whole life. She always thought somebody was looking at her breasts. Always. Always, 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 always. Until the very end when she was just like, I don't care anymore. Like, that's when it was, like, so freeing to see that from her. Because she would just be like, I don't care anymore. Like, even with, like, one of my mom's dreams was that she wanted to wear a bikini. She always was like, when I was younger, she would wear a bikini. Not like a string bikini, but, you know, like one that ties, like a decent, you know, classy bikini. But when she was older, she would say, like, we would go to the pool, you know, up here, and she would say, I have the body to still, like, wear, like, a decent bikini. This was, like, when she was in her 50s. And she was like, but my breasts are so large, like, I don't, like, it's uncomfortable, so I wear a one-piece. And she was like, I just wish, you know, that, like, my breasts weren't so big, and I could wear, like, you know, a one-piece again, or, like, I could wear, you know, a nice bikini when I go to lay out by the pool. And, you know, she's like, I can't ever do that again. And, I don't know, I just feel bad, you know, it's like, those kinds of things. I think we all have those things that when, like, we're growing up, we're super, I don't know, some of them stick with us for life, you know? Don't you think? Didn't you have things that have stuck with you your whole life? I can't believe that we're almost at the end of April and it's the beginning of May next week. It seems like it was just March. And it seems like it was just like Alex and I were trying to figure, I mean, it seems weird that, like, Ultra was a month ago. Like, we would have been at Ultra a month ago. This week. Well, right now, I think. It would be this weekend a month ago. So weird. And it's weird to think that Alex was watching something tonight on TV, and they had Las Vegas, and he was like, do you miss that city? Is it weird not going there? And I was like, yeah. Like, I would love to travel somewhere, you know, but, I don't know. Do you think they'll make it so it feels real safe for us to do that kind of stuff again? You know? Well, first of all, how do you travel and go anywhere when nothing's open? Like, seriously? Like, how do you... Like, there are no hotels open. Are the hotels, like, the Las Vegas hotels still closed? I'm sure they are. When are they planning on... Are they all closed? They can't, like, not every hotel in Las Vegas can be closed. Well, all the casinos are closed. I know that. Las Vegas hotels. Oh, it says, let's see, open. Las Vegas workers push back after mayor's call to reopen casinos and hotels. Saying that, find out the facts afterward. Las Vegas mayor trends after saying casinos should reopen now. There's a lot about it, actually. I guess they're all closed. Non-gaming hotels open in Las Vegas during... Okay, well, that was March, so... Let's see what it says here. After Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman called Wednesday for the swift reopening of hotels and casinos, many who earn their livelihoods in such establishments said they were afraid to return unless strict safety measures were introduced for themselves and guests. I agree. Although Goodman said the businesses should reopen, she provided no guidelines on how they should handle social distancing and open and other safety measures to prevent the spread. I mean, like, why are we not talking about that? She was asked how that could be accomplished while prioritizing employee safety by implementing social distancing. That's up to them to figure out. I don't own a casino, she said. Oh my God. Wynn Resorts, which owns multiple hotels and casinos in Las Vegas, released a report Sunday detailing a plan to reopen the Las Vegas Strip with safety measures like thermal cameras and social distancing. How are you going to do that, though, with, like, gambling in a casino? Like, when you're walking by somebody, and will the pools be open? I feel like Las Vegas is someplace, like, I definitely would not want to go right now. Someone said Vegas is a unique destination that we rely on guests from all parts of the country, all parts of the world. He said, I'm concerned if we open to everyone, there will be people coming from hot spots, places with outbreaks where social distancing wasn't as stringent as it was here. Yeah, I would think. I haven't really talked to Alex about the idea of, like, renting an Airbnb, going somewhere and, like, renting an Airbnb. But, like, I'm kind of down for that. Like, that's what I'm all about right now. Like, if they reopen stuff and reopen the beaches, and we could find someplace to go that has kind of, like... Well, first, if we could find someplace that has a pool, like a house with a pool, and then someplace that has... I would love to find a place that's like a house on the beach or close to the beach with a pool, you know what I mean? That we could just stay at and then, like, get groceries and just not go anywhere. I would be completely fine with that and be able to just like lay out by the pool all day long. Oh my God. And read books and do what we're doing here and do it for like a week or two. That would be fantastic. I don't know, like, I mean, our Airbnb is open. Can we do that? I mean, we can drive, I think, so we drove down there and we didn't get on a plane and then we rented an Airbnb. You would think that would be pretty safe. I mean, not now, obviously, but when things reopen, like in June or whatever, could we do that? My husband will be like, I am not driving in a car to Florida. I'm not doing it. Well, I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. And get a, you know, a cute house with a pool. Wouldn't that, I think that sounds nice, you know? And making dinner for ourselves every night, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now, and I am going to start my next audiobook. I don't know what it's gonna be, so you have to wait till tomorrow and find out. But, and I will read comments tomorrow since I didn't tonight. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and making it this far. I really, really appreciate it. If you did, put a blue comment in the comment section below. Flood it with blue hearts. Flood it with all different colors for the essential workers out there that are helping us through all this. And I really appreciate all of you out there. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. And all of you men and women essential, I always say guys, but you guys know what I mean. All of you essential workers out there, I really, really appreciate it. And I know everybody else does too. So send some love to the essential workers out there. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, give this video a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you feel free to do, or if you would like to do that. And make sure that you're still subscribed to this channel and my other channels. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I love you guys and thanks for watching. I hope you are having an amazing Thursday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Make the most of your Thursday. Do something really fun today. Start a new TV show. Start something new, fun, exciting. Start a new book, maybe. I'm going to today. And I'm like, what time is it? Oh, I still have a little time to listen to an audiobook. Start a new book. Start a new TV show or movie. And I'll be watching Molly's Game on Netflix tomorrow night. And do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow or 2 days from now, a week from now, 60 years from now, 69 years from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I love you. I love you. You, 3D, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say to yourself, I love you, you are valuable, you are important, and you matter. Your life matters, you are making a difference in this world. And remember that every single day. And say to yourself every night before you go to bed, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day long. And I can start my day over whenever I want. And when you get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say out loud, or just say it out loud, today is going to be an amazing day, and I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today, and I can start my day over whenever I want. If I'm having a bad day, I can just go, I want to start it over. Okay, I'm going to start it over right now. And you can make amends to people on the spot and just go, you know what? Had a bad morning, but I'm going to have a great afternoon and evening. That's how we do it. And also, the most important thing is to make sure that you reach out to people, you know, reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you and say, hey, I just want to let you know I was thinking of you. You mean so much to me. I love you. You know, it's really been helpful for me to reach out to people because like it's kind of kept me busy and felt like I'm connected to other people. So do it. Try it. You know, reach out to 2 people you haven't talked to in a while. Trust me, you'll love it. It'll make you happy. And also practice random acts of kindness, but what? Don't tell anyone. That's the important part. Don't tell anyone. Just keep it, you know, to yourself. Just do it because it's a nice thing to do. It's the right thing to do. We're putting good out there in the world. And the world could use a little bit of good right now, don't you think? A little bit of happiness. A little bit, I was going to say the lyric from the song, but I can't think of it now. A little less conversation. Anyway. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye. Love you. I thought I would give you guys, for those that watch to the very, very end, one more I love you. That's Annie Lennox. And yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye. 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 Love you.